4th seed, 9th seed overall is the Las Vegas Raiders, sitting
How many
at
wins,
a
bro?
comfortable 8-9.
You know that meme, that guy where he's like,
Yeah.
who like forgive me. I haven't been too connected to the NFL this offseason. Who plays quarterback for the Raiders again?
Geno Smith does.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
who's he throwing to?
Brock Bowers.
And
Jacoby Myers, who had 1,000 yards last year.
Henry Ruggs might get out on parole this year.
Henry Ruggs, too.
I wonder if they own the draft rights to him, because he'll file
He
for
might.
reinstatement. I wonder if
Oh, yeah.
does his contract come back? That's weird. We're not going to talk about that. He committed murder. I have them at 6-11.
Okay. I mean, it's a 2-win difference. It's
I know.
not
I
that far
wanted to
off.
make it a little more dramatic than it was.
I mean, like I said, I had them all the way down to like 2 or 3 wins at first, and then I bumped them up to a winning record. It was like
The
9-8, and then I dropped them down to 8-9.
the Raiders' biggest issue, I think, which will continually be a problem unless they are just absolutely fantastic in the coming years, is every game they play is a road game, except for being able to sleep in their own beds at night. Every time they walk into Allegiant, it is packed with the opposing team's fans. I know
Including
that.
week 11 when I go to Vegas and I go see the Cowboys play in Vegas.
And let me ask you this real quick. Is that on a Sunday?
It is on a Monday.
Okay, so I won't be able to join you then. But it's like, if
I
the
know, that
rate,
sucks.
like, I'm trying to convince my boss to go with me week 1 because he's a huge Seattle fan, to fly into Seattle, watch
Okay.
the 49ers Seahawks play. But I got Sundays off, bro. I'm going to catch a lot of games in person this year because you can fly in and
Yep.
out when the games play at 1. But yeah, it's just that stadium's going to be literally 88, 89% Cowboys fans that week. Like,
Yeah.
there's two of the best traveling fan bases in the NFL are the 49ers and Cowboys. And, it's so funny because I feel like there's more 49ers fans in attendance at Cowboys home games when they play. And there's more Cowboys fans in attendance at 49ers home games when they play, because that's
Yeah.
just how the fan bases are. But yeah, I mean, that's the problem with the Raiders is every game is an away game for them in terms of crowd. And,
Sure. Right.
Geno is Geno. He's been good
Mm-hmm.
in the past couple of years. And, say what you want about their head coach. Brock Bowers is a certified all-pro.
Yep.
So we'll see. I mean, still 4th in the division. They're
Still 4th regardless.
And
In a really
crazy?
hard division.
Well, I got them at 6-11 and going 0-6 in the division. So clearly I believe in them a little bit because they're picking up wins. And they probably won't go 0-6 in the division. So if they steal a game from the Broncos or steal a game from the Chargers, or it seems like every year they do beat the Chiefs. I
have them 3-3 in the division.
Yeah, so there you go. If they steal a couple of those games, they have 8 or 9 wins on my schedule also.
And do you know where? So, and then I have them 5-0 against losing teams, 3-9 against winning teams, and those 3 wins come against their division opponents.
Yeah, I have them 6-0 against losing teams.
Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah. So outside of that, again, it just kind of, how is it going to come together? Geno, Genty, Bowers, Myers, the offensive line. How's it all going to really mesh, and what's going to be really implemented with the coaching staff? Really comes down to how successful this Raiders team can be, whether it's 6 wins, 8 wins. I don't think they're going to get any more than 4th place in this division just because that's how good the rest of these teams are. Now, sitting at 3rd place is the 11-6, sitting in 6th place in the conference, making the playoffs, Denver Broncos.
What did you say?
6th place.
How many wins?
11.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. See? You already brought up how I text you and how I was like, am I smoking crack about this one? I mean, you see how the team played last year, brought back a lot of the same people, bring in someone like Evan Ingram, and now they potentially have a running back there, RJ Harvey. Audric Estime is still going to be a really good change of pace back in terms of the power over the speed type thing with RJ Harvey there. Shout out to Dre Greenlaw. It really sucks. He
Fuck
got
that
hurt
guy
again. It's really disappointing. Drew. And then shout out to Hufunga, obviously, who's out there too, but he didn't get hurt. So, but
Shout out to Hufunga, because that dude is not as good as the league and the media think he is. It's just he got a couple of interceptions one year at the safety position. It was named All-Pro. They gave him a whole bunch of money. The 49ers were never, ever in a million years going to consider giving him that type of money. So,
and then you draft Jahdae Brown out of Texas in the first round as well. So you bring in more defensive talent on a really talented defensive roster. You got to be happy with that. It's a lot of the same things. The second year of Bo Nix and Sean Payton together, it's going to create good things. And I think 11-6 isn't anywhere outside the realm of possibility. It's very much inside of it. So still third place in the division, sixth place in the conference. Yes, they make the playoffs. Yes, that does mean I have 3 teams from the AFC West making the playoffs. And that sounds Drew.
What did you have them division wise?
Everyone goes 3-3 in this division.
Okay. Yeah, so because I screwed the Raiders out of any division wins, I have them all at 4-2.
Okay. Yep. So I think they're the only ones I said that we're gonna go dead even with everyone. Yep. Only division I put 3-3 for each one of them. Every single one is 5-1, 4-2, 3-3, 0-6, 4-2, 4-2, 4-2, 0-6. It's just, yeah, it's all different. So this is the only one I say everyone splits with each other. But yeah, super talented team. Second place.
How many wins before you name
11.
the team?
Okay, so I'll go this: 11 wins, 5th place, making the playoffs. And the next one up, the first place, is 3rd place in the conference, 12 wins.
So I have 2nd place at 12 wins at 6 in the conference, and I have number 1 at 13 wins at 3rd in the conference.
I had it like that, and I swapped some stuff around, and so that's where I'm at.
So do you have, by any stretch of the imagination, the Chiefs not winning the division?
I do have the Chiefs not winning the division.
Let's go. The first time I did this, spoiler alert, I had the Chiefs missing the playoffs, and I'm like, that's not happening. But my way too early prediction for this division is Lad McConkey Super Bowl MVP. Hashtag, I won't go there.
Why
boys were made, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Hashtag JP Mason.
Oh my gosh.
Hashtag Justin Herbert's a gangster.
Yeah, so it's only a 1-game difference between the Chiefs and the Chargers. The reason why the Chiefs get the 2nd place over the Broncos for me, both 11-6, it just comes down to the common opponents' records and where they ranked in that. KC have a better record against those common opponents than Denver, picking up 2 more different wins. That's why it shook out how it did. But same exact record. 5th place for KC, 3rd place for the Chargers. We're both on the same pace for the Chargers in terms of being on board with it, being on board with this team. Yeah, I talked to my dad about it, and he was like, and I told him about my power rankings, because you don't even know my power rankings, because we might end up doing a video about that. But I told him where I had certain people in the power rankings, and he said, why do you have the Chargers there? And I said, because it's only like 1 or 2 more wins than they had last year, and it's a 2nd year under Harbaugh, and they got better. What do you mean why? Like, it just, he's like, oh, I guess a good point. And I brought up a couple of guys that they brought in. So it only makes sense to kind of put them there at this point. And when the Chiefs really didn't do a whole lot in the offseason to improve themselves, and a lot of question marks at that offensive line position, obviously losing Tooney sucks. There's part of that there, but the offensive line already had problems, and then you lose one of your better pieces on top of it. I'm going to have you dropping 1 more game than the division winners of the Chargers.
Yeah. So my concern with the Chiefs is just, I think this is the season where we're finally like, yeah, Travis Kelce is a little washed. We saw it last year. Shout out to him, Hall of Famer, first ballot, greatest tight end ever, do it, all good things. As long, Mahomes, he's throwing, chop blocks into his wide receiver's knees. Who knows how Rashee Rice is going to come back this season. Man. I imagine probably not great. He'll probably be great the season after, but Xavier Worthy had an electrifying season last year, but Juju Smith-Schuster, like these are not number one talents. They did bring in Elijah Mitchell in. I love Elijah Mitchell, but he can't
Yeah.
stay healthy. That's a pretty solid punch behind Isaiah Pacheco. I like that, but at the end of the day,
And it's a good insurance policy because obviously Pacheco had some issues staying healthy last year.
yeah, I mean, and it, I think I like what the Chargers did on what they did in the offseason a little better. I just think they're getting better. For some reason, I was pretty down on him in Pittsburgh, but Najee Harris just seems like a Jim Harbaugh football player. I just love the idea of that.
And you
Weirdly,
draft Hampton.
they bring back Mike Williams, which,
Yeah.
just another threat for Herbert, who was already good.
Yep.
They brought in a really, really, really young guard, and Mekhi Becton. I think he's only 26 or 27.
And he was one of the best guards, if not the best guard last year, graded off PFF. So that might be the best line in the league, bar none. And Justin Herbert can actually stay up and stay healthy for the entire year if all those guys stay healthy, which is really exciting to see. That's what everyone wants to see.
And then you lose Josh Palmer and you replace him with Mike Williams. Like, okay, and then like some D line that they lost, but not anything big. And
And you bring in Deshaun Hand to replace some of that. So
Asante Samuel Jr., you know what I mean? Like, I really like what they did. And, obviously you went with the Cowboys because your dad is a Cowboys fan. I went with the 49ers because my dad is a Chargers fan, and he told me to pick a team. And that week they were playing the 49ers, the Chargers were. So I picked the 49ers as my team just to root against him. I'm the only 49er fan in the family, even though we all grew up in California. So it's just the Chargers will always be my AFC team. I always root for them to do really well. And now they got my favorite head coach, John Harbaugh. I shouldn't say that. Kyle's my favorite, but second favorite, Jim Harbaugh, not John. And Justin Herbert's a baller. And I love everything about that team. So super bullish on them this year, but I've been bullish on them for like 4 years in a row now. So I just hope this is the year that they kind of prove me right.
Yep. I'm right there with you.